Soar Without Limits Enterprises presents the Triple E Podcast, a show dedicated to empowering women to elevate, expand, and explore their mindsets. I am your host, Monique Pearson, best-selling author, mindset coach, international speaker, and travelologist. Are you ready to transform your life? Join us monthly for inspiring stories and actionable tips so that you can soar without limits. Well, hey, everyone. Welcome to the Triple E Podcast, where we help women to elevate, expand, and explore their mindset. And you know, every month we come with that heat with a guest who is going to make sure that she drops some gems and pours into you mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially, because we believe that becoming our best selves is taking a holistic approach. So I have an awesome guest that is going to be before you today, and I'm super excited to bring her up. Oh, I forgot to remiss. I'm Monique. For those who are just now joining the Triple E Podcast, make sure y'all hit the subscription button so that you're aware anytime we have a new episode to bring that heat with you. So I am going to introduce and do our bio for our guest, and then I'm going to bring her forward, and we are going to dig right into it. So tonight we have the honor of having Miss Marisa Dickson, who is a powerhouse. She's a mompreneur. She's a realtor and a seasoned property manager who doesn't just close deals, she builds legacies. She has a master's degree from Keller Graduate School and a professional background in human resources and project management. Marisa spent years mastering the art of getting in the room. However, her true elevation came when she realized that standing in the room with confidence and claiming her seat at the table was the key to transitioning from a high-earning professional to a legacy-driven business owner. Marisa is deeply fueled by a mission to honor her father's wish of building generational wealth. Marisa is dedicated to teaching her children and her community how to scale, sustain, and grow. She specializes in the meat and potatoes of real estate, guiding buyers, sellers, and investors through pivotal life transitions with the heart of a people person. Whether she is managing a complex project or helping a family secure their future, Marisa's goal is simple: to help others to see their own potential so that they can heal, grow, and build wealth that lasts for generations. So without further ado, let us bring Marisa on up to the platform. Give her a warm welcome, Triple E family.
Yes. Hello.
How you doing, girl?
I'm good. You made me sound so amazing.
You are so amazing. I don't have to make you sound anything, girl. You are who you are. You better own that, girl. Own that.
I love it.
Yeah, so we are super excited, super happy to have you on the Triple E Podcast. Thank you for taking time out of your schedule to join us.
No problem. You know, anything for you, honey.
So we don't waste no time on here to Triple E, honey. We dig right into it. So we're going to dive right in.
Okay.
So Marisa, many of my listeners are just meeting you for the first time. Beyond the titles of mom, realtor, and property manager, who is Marisa?
Marisa is, I would say that I am a empathetic, life-loving person. I get my energy from being around really positive people. And I like to pull people up, you know, if they're feeling away or they're down or, you know, what have you. But I would say that I'm a busy person, a deep thinker. And I think, I don't know.
All right, so we are getting a little spill. As we keep going, I'm sure we're going to get some more of Marisa. You're going to come through for us. So you said you had mastered the art of getting in the room, but you realized that elevation came from claiming your seat at the table. What does that look like in real life for women?
So, a lot of times we can kill an interview and get in there and do the job and then do the job well. But once you're in a position, it's a difference in being in a position and you're able to flourish within that company, or you're in a position and you're just collecting a paycheck. So
Mm-hmm.
once you're in a position and you see a path, and it's kind of like, okay, well, I'm making X amount of dollars, and
Mm-hmm.
but I'm unfulfilled. And that was the difference. It makes more sense to me to do something that is fulfilling. So sometimes, people do have those paths where their paycheck is their passion, and then other times, if your paycheck isn't your passion, you sometimes can come up short. So
Mm.
finding a seat at the table, getting in the room was one thing, but finding a seat, finding my passion, finding my space has been a journey.
Mm. Well, let's crack that open, because there are some women who may be like, girl, I'm doing what I have to do to get this check to take care of my family, but I know that my spirit and my soul is unfulfilled because I feel nothing about this job. Tell them, how have you been able to transition from point A, where you were collecting a check, to now being point B, purpose driven in what you're doing?
Well, what I didn't realize all of these years was that I was always working towards here, right? So even though I've been in positions where oh God, I'm sorry. Get out. Close the door. Close the door and get out.
Girl, I have to stop the recording. I can't put that up there.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm gonna have to have her edit it.
I just told them don't come in here. Let me
Okay.
lock the door.
Yeah, please, because I'm gonna have her. Hopefully, she can edit all this out, because I can't start the recording else. We're gonna have to start all over.
I'm sorry.
Where are we at? 6 minutes and 50 seconds.
Yeah, and I had just told them don't come in here.
6:48 through 7:03. I have to make sure I tell her to edit that. Okay. So we're gonna start. So you have mastered the art of getting in the room, but you realize that elevation came from claiming your seat at the table. What does that look like in real life for real women?
So anybody can get the interview, right? You can get not anybody, but you qualify for the position. You can get the interview, and in the interview, you're vibing with the person, the managers, the hiring people. But once you're in a position and actually doing the job, then you find out that there's a difference in the enjoying what you do and collecting a paycheck. So in that, you want to make sure that you're being fulfilled. The way that I was able to navigate that was to get the soft skills, right? So the things that I could take with me wherever I go. So whether it's people management, whether it's understanding how a project works, all of those things led me to this place where now I'm sitting at the table of what my passions are, and that is construction, property management, and helping people to build generational wealth for themselves and their families.
Mm-hmm. So I understand that you said even when you were in those places that weren't making your soul light up, you got what skills you can from it. But how did you make the shift to be able to get out of doing what you had to do to doing what you want to do?
Well, part of it was my father passed, and I took over managing the properties that he owned, where he had multiple tenants. So at the same time, a contract that I had ended. Mm-hmm. So I went into this part of life where I'm managing something brand new, which is property management, managing people, tenants, and those things. And at the same time, I'm managing grief. So what I was able to do was dive into being a property manager. I went and got my real estate license to help me to further understand that part of the industry. And I took that information and applied it in real time.
Mhm.
So my transition was kind of a push,
Mm.
now you have to show it. Right now you got to do it. Whereas the transition from undergrad uh, to graduate school, it was gradual,
Mm.
getting to the next level, but it wasn't a whole lot of real life, real time action, you know.
Mhm.
So I got there because I was forced.
You
So
said I was picked,
kicked in there,
pushed.
go and get in there. I was, forced in there, so to speak. But then once in the position, I realized that I had been set up the whole time, my whole life, the entire career path that I had to be at this point. So God always had a plan for me to be here.
Mm. You said two things that struck me. One, still being able to operate in grief. And I know that some people that grief paralyzes them or they don't know as far as it just stops all things. So for the women who may be grieving but also transitioning, what is something that you can share with them that was helpful to you during this time? Because I know you personally and I know that this is still ongoing. So what helped you to be able to not be paralyzed by the grief, but still be able to live out your dad's dream and his legacy?
Um, Part of it was putting first things first, right? So even though, and it was, I had 3 hard hits back to back. And even though those things happened, I had to separate my emotions in the time. And how I did that, I took time for myself in the mornings. Every
Mhm.
morning I got up 5 o'clock in the morning. I did meditation, prayer, listen to music or whatever I needed to do to gather my strength to be able to walk each day.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, in this time period, I was very intentional about journaling how I felt. And then when I did feel, and say it could be, it comes, grief doesn't have a time schedule. It's going to show up when it show up. So
Mhm.
in the times that it showed up and I needed to cry, I did. When it
Mhm.
showed up and I wanted to write, I did. When it showed up and I wanted to scream and yell and do that, I did
Mhm.
it, because those things in that moment were realer than trying to mask something that could eventually cause me more harm. So
Mhm.
I understood that, taking over this business, that I needed to show up because I had other people depending on me. I had the tenants depending on, they need hot water. There's a leak, there's this, there's that. And being able to network and navigate those different things, I had to come out of the house every day or out of my feelings every day to show up as my best self, or my best self at that time.
Right, right.
I needed a minute, a lot of times I would just take it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, I appreciate you opening and being and sharing it. I know that's a sensitive topic, but I know that's gonna help someone to honor what I heard mostly was to honor whatever it is that your spirit and your body and yourself is needing at that time, to not dismiss it and to be able to give it to yourself when you need it, and that was able to put you in a position to still keep moving every day.
Right.
Mm.
Mhm.
So what about from our mompreneurs that are listening? How do they elevate their identities beyond survivor mode into legacy mode?
um Back to that morning, I took control of my morning. So this is my real schedule, right? I'm up between 4:30 and 5:30 every morning, even if my alarm doesn't go off. because that's my time. I don't have to deal with
Mm.
men. I ain't got to deal with the kids, the dog, nothing. Ain't nobody moving in my house. So what I'm doing is I'm doing prayer. I'm meditating. I just learned how to meditate for real. Um, I'm doing prayer, meditating. I'm listening to music, soft music, or what have you. When my brain, because a lot of times you find that at night your brain doesn't shut down. I found that the frequency music, it helps a lot. It helps
Mhm.
to calm your nerves and to put you in a place where you sleep. It may be weird at first, but it all pays off.
So I heard, ladies, moms, you got to schedule some time for you.
You
That's
have
what I
to
heard.
every day. It,
Mm.
it can't be like once a week, once a month. You have to do this every day. And I'm not a huge journaler, right? I journal when I feel it. I don't journal like, oh, today the sky is blue. And, I don't do that. I'm not that type of journaler. If I can't get something out of my head, I have to write it down so that it
Mm.
can get out of my head. Because then
Mhm.
now this is my prayer. God, I need this. God, I thank you for that, and every day,
Yeah.
every day being able to acknowledge the fact that I'm not perfect, right? Every day I'm acknowledging I need work, I need this. At the same time, you have to acknowledge your your accomplishments.
Mm.
I was
Mhm.
able to turn this around. I was able to do this. And it's not bragging and it's not, being boisterous. It's being able to give yourself that credit because it feels so much better to show, to tell yourself, you know what, you did do a good job, because it helps to elevate and build up your Eunice. I
Yeah,
would
I
like
see it as gratitude journal. That is one of my favorites. I feel like that automatically shifts the mood. It shifts the atmosphere. We got so many things to complain about. We got so many people that are criticizing, including ourselves. So when you, as you just said, speak to that point to lift yourself up, speak life into
yeah,
yourself, and
yeah.
then reflecting on the gratitude, I definitely feel like all of that energy is going to circle back and come back threefold unto you. If it's where you put your focus.
Yep, absolutely. Because if you and like you just said, if you keep thinking, because moms, what we do is we think we got this done, let's do this. We got this done, let's do this. We don't
Mhm.
never slow down and say, hey, okay, I made it to the football game on time. Good for me. Go ahead, Riz. you know, life can be life, and then you sit up looking crazy because you're trying to figure out, how do I catch up with myself? I can't even catch up with
Mm.
myself. But then when you, like I said, take this time in the morning. I'll take the time in the morning to thank God for the day. I take the time in the morning to, realize my accomplishments, to figure out
Mhm.
what my next things are, to take some time. And sometimes it's been a couple mornings where I had no music or nothing. I just sat. That
Mm.
meditation and complete silence. It
That's
feels
good.
good. You have to take time for you.
All right, mom. That's the message. You gotta take time for you. So, Marisa, what does expansion look like when you're balancing motherhood, business, and your personal healing? What does expansion look like to you?
Expansion is taking all of these things and making them even better. So one thing that I know is that once you start networking with people and you don't have to do everything, that
Mm-hmm.
helps a lot to get it done, because we work as a team. God put us here to work interdependently. So you're good at, painting. So when I have a client that needs paint, I'm gonna call you, and then you come and figure out whatever needs to happen. So
Right.
expansion for me is networking and getting around people who have the like-minded things going on with them, so that we're continuously growing.
That's what I hear. Iron sharpens iron.
Yep.
So anytime you got a sharp knife and you are sharpening it with a dull blade, it's going to take away the impact.
Mm-hmm.
So that says to me, when you hear them say, far as your top five circle, if we were to assess who are your butter knives and who are your steak knives, and I'm hoping that you ladies have more steak knives in your arsenal than you got butter knives, because that is how we're going to continue to build, pour into each other. And as you said, interdependent, not independent, especially when you're in business, because you can't be team me, myself, and I and doing all the things. You should be out here shining in your gifts, in your glory, and allowing everybody else to walk out in their ministry. So I'm glad that you said that. Those are some good key messages, ladies, that I hope that you're hearing and that you're definitely going to be receiving and walking out in as well. So, Marisa, tell us what's next. What's up next for you? What are you exploring next in life or in business?
In business, I'm looking to start building new construction. I am looking at a project now. I'll let you know about that later.
Okay.
But I'm looking to go into new construction as I navigate the realtor side of things. In motherhood, my oldest is away. She joined the Air Force, so she is excited about living on her own. This is her first full year. Yeah, this is her first full year away. So, and we're like girlfriends now because she always called him, "Ma, this is what happened. Ma, that what happened." Okay. I have a 13-year-old who's going to go to high school this fall, so that'll be new for him, and then my twins are 10, and just keeping everybody on track, giving them more responsibility. So that's new for all of us. So we're in here struggling because I'm used to doing everything and nothing getting done at the same time. So I'm making them help, and baby, we be in here fighting. So on the home front, that's that.
Well, that's following the same principle you just said in business.
It is.
You got to go and follow the people that make gifts.
I have to network. We all got to help here.
You got to network to make the family work. Yes, sir. Yeah, everybody got to get a piece. So what is one small step that the ladies listening to you today can take to help them start building generational wealth?
I think the most important thing that they could do is to, it's so many resources now. It's not like when we were younger.
Everybody may not know, so drop some gems on them.
Yeah, I know. All of the Googles, the Geminis, and those things that you can look it up and look into how much would it cost to do this. Find out who your local realtors are. Find out who your local mortgage brokers are. I'm sorry I said so many times, but find out who your local people are. They have so many different programs that are affordable that that we can just start putting up $1 here, $1, well, not $1, but you know what I mean. You enroll into these different programs, and then you start to build money, and you see how once you do one thing. So one thing that you can do, like I said, get in touch with a realtor or a mortgage broker and find out if I even qualify for a mortgage. And then the one way that I'm starting to push people towards is, instead of buying a single family home, meaning one unit, you go buy a 2-flat. Like in Chicago, we have multi-unit buildings, right? So if we're here, you go buy a 2-flat. It's still considered a single family, but you have your family living on one level, and then you have a tenant living upstairs. You got your tenant living upstairs. They're helping with the bills. They're helping with the keep up around the house, and they're doing things like that. And before you know it, now you're ready to expand it to something else, and you don't even have to worry about the mortgage, or you
building
don't have
that wealth. Building that wealth.
It's automatic when you do it like that. Here, a single family is up to 4 units, so you can get a 4-unit building, have them 3 paying it, and you saving all your money because the other 3 paying the mortgage. You understand?
Yes.
So it's ways to get out there and do it. It's just the and there's information out there. So I would get in touch with your local, realtors, get in touch with your local housing authorities and find out, because there's so many programs out there, um, that leads us to wealth building. We just have to look for them. And then what I do know is that once you take one step towards your goal, once you take one step towards what you want, God takes 10 steps towards you too. So you always gonna be able to, oh, this is what I'm focusing on, and that thing expands.
Mm. What about the woman that's like, Marisa, I hear you, but girl, I just feel like I'm so late to the game. What would you say to her?
You're not dead. You can't be late until you're dead.
Oh, girl, drop the
mic. Don't get up and do it. So look, I was watching Cat Williams got a new comedy special, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you're gonna have to edit this out or not.
I haven't seen his latest one.
So he got the new one. You know he crazy. But he said something that has been the theme for 2026 for me. He said, you could tell your body you sick and you be perfectly well, and your body be like, okay, we sick.
Right.
It's what you tell yourself. You tell yourself you can do that thing and go do it. It's not that hard. The thing is, people get stuck in, I don't know how to do it. Of course, maybe you don't know how to do it, but there's resources. There's somebody somewhere that knows how to do it. You got to be able to get that discernment up. That morning time, that early time by yourself where you sitting with God. God, what am I supposed to be doing? If you don't believe that there's a God, whatever your spiritual thing is, you sit and you figure out, what am I supposed to be doing? How do I get to the next level? When you're really tired of being tired and you start looking for another way, that way shows up. I know that for a fact. I can say that wholeheartedly. That thing comes and it stays.
Yeah, that's again, speaking life. You gonna speak life or you gonna speak death?
That's it.
Which one do you choose?
Yeah, that's it. It's going to be that thing. So whatever it is you want to see, and even in your mind. So I know a lot of times we worry about the past, things that happen to us, the hurts, the pains, the this, the that. A lot of times we sit in that stuff. And it's like, well, you got to forgive, you got to forgive, you got to forgive. And a lot of times people don't know what that means.
Right.
The biggest thing is, when those thoughts come, I heard Joe Dispenza say this. When it comes, you thank yourself for trying to protect yourself. So you get all these thoughts about failure. Your subconscious is trying to protect you from the hurt of failure.
Right.
But the real hurt is not even ever. The real failure is not even trying. That's real hurt. So if you start thinking like that, well, I don't know what to do. Start Googling, going to your local housing authorities, figuring out what to do. Those limited thoughts start coming in your mind. You start telling yourself, no, that don't have to be true. How can Oprah have all these millions and I can't? Billions and I can't?
Start opening. Girl, she stepped it up some.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to be that. How can these people have all this stuff and I can't? That is limited beliefs. So as we begin to change our mind, change your thoughts with that. As soon as you feel yourself going down, because even when you're being negative, you feel it in your body.
Yep.
Your head starts spinning, you get mad, you hot. Nah, we not doing that today. Do some mirror work. That really works. Stand in the mirror and tell yourself, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z today. You're beautiful. You're accomplished. You're successful. You can do this. You have all the right people around you. Tell yourself that every single day. It works.
It work. That's why I said it does work. As far as that's like them limited self-belief. The thing is, you have to counter that immediately. I think a lot of times we sit in it and it just gets louder and louder. And we just gets more and more. But if we were to counter that negative thought with two positive ones, It's the same thing as far as light has no mist and darkness. And that's what we have to do. We have to battle those darkness, which is that those limiting thoughts, those fears, that self-limitations, those ceilings that we put on ourselves. And all things are possible. If we believe it, it's possible.
It
That's
is.
us. Like we
It
got
is.
too many examples of people who are walking that out here in
Yeah,
life that we can play off of.
absolutely. Yep, you're right.
So, in closing, Marissa, what's your final message to the women who wants more for her family, but she continues to doubt that it's possible?
What I just said. Believe that it is possible. You can't, if you want a thing, even if you never seen anybody around you do it, you want a thing, you want it because God placed it there. You got something on your soul, something in your heart that you really want to do and you don't know how to do it. I would say in the mirror, I'm surrounded by people that can help take me to the next level. I
Mm,
would pray and ask God to show me these people so that I'm surrounded by those who can take me to where I need to go. And
mm,
then have to stop those limiting beliefs by countering them, like you just
mm.
said.
Yeah,
When it comes up, this person did that to me. A lot of times when people do stuff or you feel like they've offended you, that has nothing to do with you. You make sure you remove yourself from those type of people and situations. Sometimes it's going to hurt because it's people that you grew up with, it's your family, it's your friends. You have to separate yourself because as you do your own work, you don't need those type of distractions. You have to be able to focus and become the whole person that God has made you. And the
mm,
only way that you can do that is to be surrounded by those who not only give you grace, but surround yourself with your own grace. Give
there you
yourself
go.
grace.
That part. Because I find we are often our worst and hardest critics more than anyone off the street can be.
Mhm.
So, Marissa, we have enjoyed chatting with you, but if our listeners want to connect with you, where can they connect with you? How can they get in contact with you?
So, as a realtor, I have a smaller brand. So, the company that I'm with, the brokerage is United Real Estate Chicago. And then my own brand is Back Office Realty Solutions. And that is a back office brand that helps, like you said, buyers, sellers, and investors. So you can do that. The website is Boris VA, Back Office Realty Solution, BORSVA.com. You can catch me on that website. And then I have a Facebook page, Instagram, and I'm working on a YouTube page now too. But you can definitely get me there.
Wonderful. We will make sure that all of that information so y'all can reach out where Marissa is going to be in her show notes. So, Triple E, that's all we have for you for this evening. So, as I said, if y'all still checking up and y'all ain't put a ring on it and hit that subscription button, I need y'all to come on in and join the family permanently. Become a part of the Triple E family. So, we will be back next month with another fabulous guest. Until then, ladies, continue to elevate, expand, and explore. Have a good one.